Yo, what's good? So I wanted to come with a quick video and just discuss a few things that we are experiencing here within the market. I do want to start with this new report from Nvidia. So they had their earnings today, and they had a beat, so they did pretty good. So they're doing really well on the revenue side. But then again, the big thing is them announcing the 10-to-1 stock split. Excuse me. So let's actually watch this video and check it out. Yeah. So Jensen, he is the CEO there of Nvidia. He has been a strong leader for them, well spoken, but yes, they are actually doing a lot of stuff in the space that is revolutionary in regards to computing power. So this is just another thought process of us understanding of how important technology is and how much more important it will be here in the future. So good thing to see. Now on the stock split 10-to-1. So as we kind of come over to the chart for Nvidia, it's pretty cool, man, to basically say, okay, this thing, and this is an optical illusion effect of what happens when they do stock splits. There's opportunity for them to make some money as a company, but then again, so what do? They optically say, hey, we're just going to dilute the amount of shares. So they're going to add more shares at a lower cost basis. So with that being said, instead of seeing this 950 bucks, we're going to see this thing at about like $9.50, 10-to-1. So just divided by 10, if I have that correct. But post announcement after hours, you already see this thing is up to $1,000.23 bucks and some change. So this is nice, man. This is, I mean, if you're talking about a stock, man, that has performed very well. I mean, you can choose any point of reference. Let's say from COVID. So from the COVID dip, stocks performing from COVID dip, you're not going to see too many that you can actually, thoroughly get a 20x out of. So that is impressive from a stock. And that's just leading us to say, okay, technology is still booming. And, this is making all time highs. What else is making all time highs? The S&P 500. So if we hop over to the S&P 500, once again, we made new all time highs as of late. So, more all time highs that we've accomplished with that. We can go through everything, even the NASDAQ. So NDX here, once again, creating all-time highs. And so these are things to remind you of crypto is just going to be on its way, right? Following at every time that NASDAQ and the SP 500 made all-time high, crypto was right behind it. So that means Bitcoin and everything of the like. So, we're right here currently at 69K for Bitcoin. As mentioned before, I was saying, hey, if we just get past this prior peak, we're in the ball game to, really put some pressure to the upside. Some liquidations happened, and we had a really nice candle, for Bitcoin. So this is cool to see. And I had this box here just waiting to say, okay, cool. If we do break out to the upside, we'll find ourselves somewhere in this range in between 75K, and if we have a really strong push up to 93K. So that's going to be exciting. We need some liquidations to happen, but we just need more overall demand to come into the market, which, as we know, we'll continue to find. So if we want to put this on the weekly chart, one thing that's really cool, something that is free, y'all can actually add this to y'all stop process. It's like a stochastic indicator. So you can kind of see momentum from another view. Let me see if I can bring it up really quick. Let's see. So let's do this. All right, there we go. So we pulled it back up, and this one's pretty cool, man. It really just gives us a sense of momentum on a weekly basis. So it's gonna range, up and down, over and over. And so on a weekly basis, we've got to that point where we, basically said, okay, cool, we've touched the bottom, and we are now ready to turn back up for momentum to the upside. And so really that's actually a strong look, especially as we're breaking into all-time highs for all the other larger indices, within investable markets, like where people put in their capital, they're seeing all-time highs. That means they're feeling good. That means they're probably going to be willing to go more risk on. As mentioned, all these points where we are lower on this metric, so stochastic RSI. So let's just use this whole bull market. So we've got 5 reference points, and let's see if I can kind of line them up decently well. So we got a point there. Let's see, point there. There's not too much. So 2 things this tells me. There's not too much dip after that once it starts to turn back up. But then traditionally what we'll see upside and making a round trip to the top side, or even halfway at least, but generally a round trip to the top side. And the longer that we stay up here, the more that the price will pump. So if we want to look at all the subsequent times when we've kind of had that eclipse, right? So now we're going up with the stochastic RSI. You typically see some good times after. So you see price coming up. Price a little bit more flat, but same thing, not too much downtrend, price going up. After that one, once again, price going up. And then here, where we recently had it, and price has been going up. So in the Volta Crypto, we caught this dip perfectly. We had a couple of videos and a couple of announcements just basically saying, hey, here's the DCA range. And so congrats to those that are in the Vault. If you haven't thought about it, jump on in there. It's a really good body of tools to use, and just a great community of guys that understand the game. And besides myself, yes, I do a good job of explaining things simply as possible. But once again, being around people that are like-minded that can understand how to go about this is the way to go about it. So looking really good for Bitcoin. Now, the biggest news, truthfully, is going to be talking about this Ethereum ETF filing that seems to be something that's actually a material truth. Like they're saying, hey, like this thing ain't just so much like a pass in the wind. This is like something that could really, really happen. Now, I don't know if y'all remember, I did a stream a long time ago, actually 2 streams thus far, but this is the Ethereum duration map. Things that everyone needs to understand is it's not just about price, it's about time, duration. If you could stand the test of time, you will win as an investor. And so we talked about the different phases, about like the bull market, transition to bear, duration from the price low to high, the bear market price low. So we're going to see those, the bear market price lows, boom, boom, boom. And yes, did buy that, of course, here, that $875 Ethereum. We bought that dip, of course. And and so, the duration shows us these trends, right? Now we have just now peeked into this time window of prosperity of when Ethereum really, really likes to shine. And so that's really going to be exciting, really. So I would say from this point in the halving, going all the way into deep 2025, so this is going to be exciting stuff. And this trend line has stayed true. I've kept this trend line here since, mid 2023, haven't deviated. Now, as you can kind of see, it's oscillating above it, a little bit below it, but it's following trend. If we stick to the trend by late 2025, we should find ourselves somewhere within the range of $7,000 Ethereum. But as we know, things like to deviate above, and so we're potentially going to even see something of like that $10,000 to $16,000 Ethereum, which would be nice. Spring to winter of 2025 as things get ramped up. So really exciting with that. But if let's see if I can actually just get a fresh chart. I really just want to look at this candle that we have, because this is like that. All right, this is my get back. Like Ethereum saying, hey, this is the get back. Saying, hey, don't forget about me. 20, like this was like a 20% candle. Let me see if I could put that together. So obviously this candle, we have not seen anything like this in quite some time for Ethereum. Like if you go back in this whole year, I think anything close was this candle here. So that was a recovery candle. So not extremely bullish, but and we had a candle here in early 2024, and we had a little bit of action in November of 2023. But a candle this large, I mean, you really have to go back in the chart for Ethereum to see when we have that amount of bullishness for Ethereum. And I mean, obviously, I would say that would be the recovery of the bear market lows. And as I was talking about, yes, $875 on some exchanges, you could get that. But once again, I would say, really since July of 2022. So we're talking 2 years. Have we seen a daily candle for Ethereum look this bullish? Now, what happens when you have just this moment of saying, hey, there's things that could be bubbling up for Ethereum? You potentially may see some follow through. So this is going to be a good thing to kind of look out for. Obviously, we're going to face some resistance on this upper bound. If we want to look at, okay, just volume, where is everybody at on a net basis? So on a net basis, and we're talking about the beginning of the year, we have a lot of people on the upper end, really in between like that 3,500 to $3,000 range. So this is an interesting development, and so once again, this candle is very, very impressive. So 20% in one candle, and so this is nice. Obviously, the ETFs are continuing to be something that may be coming here very, very soon in the United States. And so these are spot ETFs for Ethereum, which brings more liquidity to the market. So that's a good thing. So definitely, I want to finish off with a couple charts here. So let's go over to look at this here. So the BTC ETF inflows, one thing that is apparent as of, we want to look at yesterday, and particularly we have, a couple players in particular, IBIT. So we're talking about BlackRock. They really turned it back on here in this dark, what we call this, I guess, orange, or I guess you can say between yellow. This is IBIT alone saying, hey, we're coming to play with 4,130 BTC that they bought. That's a lot of money. As you can see, they haven't really allocated as much, especially within the past month and some change. And so this is really nice to start to really turn back on, and Grayscale, nothing. So we are net positive. So that's what these circles mean, net positive. And Grayscale sold nothing over the last, 5 trading days. So that's really, really nice to see. We want to see that continue. If we want to continue on, and we're looking at the short-term holder NVRB ratio, short-term holders are the people that are going to be the most finicky to the market. So they're going to be the people that are going to sell on the small dips that we have of 20-25% this cycle, and then they're going to be the people that FOMO in once we get back to all-time highs. So these are the people that we really want to track in a bull market. They typically serve as the realized price for the short-term holders typically serve as a really nice support. As we can see, all in 2020 going into 2021, this red line was a nice support. Same thing here for that 2016-2017 cycle, how it continued to be a very nice support on the way up. So here's the key. If you ever get anything below it, so this midline here, you ever have any standard deviation below it, these are buying opportunities. So thus far in this cycle, we've had basically 5 opportunities. So 1, 2, this one's a little bit more elongated from August of 2023 to October. But after October, that's when the altcoins really ripped. So 4, and then recently 5, and they were back above the midline. So something to consider in future. If you're like, dang, I still don't know how to play these markets from an on-chain standpoint, look at the short-term holder NVRB ratio like we have it here. Next, the NUPL. So we can look at the net unrealized profit and loss per cohort. We have the long-term holders and the short-term holders, and we're really just looking for when both of them are in severe profit, and so unrealized profit, that is, and we want to see these red circles up top, which we have not seen. Now, yes, it's fine to have blips of orange, so we have light orange, then dark orange, then red. So we just got the beginning of light orange saying, hey, the market is heating up, but it's not like smoldering hot yet. We typically see a continuation after we start to heat up. And so really once we see, we're talking about like 98% of people in profit, long-term holders and short-term holders, that's when we want to say, okay, cool. We may want to look to deleverage, or, whatever you want to say, take profits, whatever you want to call it, depending on how you're playing this market. These are the times when you guys want to take some action. We're just not there yet for severe profit taking, but in due time, it is coming. So this is one thing that we want to pay attention to. So as of now, we're looking at the short-term holders, and not a severe amount of them are in profit. We're talking less than 10%. So yeah, this is a exciting time in the market. And this is just another way to look at the Bitcoin short-term holder realized profit and loss. Same thing, we dip below the midline. Those are really good DCA points. So super simple last time. Now looking at it from a different angle, right? So we're looking at the cost basis for the short-term holders. As of right now, the cost basis is 61,000 and climbing for the short-term holders. So, the interesting thing about that, if you really look at it, we're talking about, even if we want to talk about in February, okay? So February, the short-term holder cost basis is 42K. We are $20,000 higher, and we're not even talking, 4 months later? So what is it going to look like at the end of the year? Is short-term holder cost base is going to be something like 75K or 80K? That's going to be super exciting. And we're going to use that as support as we go up. And if we have a deviation below it, it's just going to be slight. So this is what these charts are showing us, is what this market is expressing to us. So really good stuff. If you guys haven't thought about it, please think about it. So come on over to thevaultsofcrypto.com, and it's super easy. We have a monthly subscription that y'all can come in and join, get a whole bunch of trading indicators and investing indicators now. And I just built another one, so I want to say we have 7 or 8 total. But also you can get access to the Telegram chat, which we have a lot of other, videos that are private that I don't put here on YouTube. So enter the vaults, and easy as that. Within 24 hours, you'll be able to get the access into the group. So with that being said, beautiful time to be in this market. Beautiful time to be learning on how to invest wisely with your capital. You don't want to mess it up. It's all about having a good plan. And if you have no plan, then plan to fail. So with that being said, I appreciate you guys. If you have any questions, hit me up in the comments. Love to talk to y'all, see how y'all feeling with all of this bullish news with the ETFs coming up, and then this Bitcoin. A lot of people are going and buying that up as well. Altcoins are to follow, right? So catch y'all in the next video. Peace.